Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture. He is Michael Hamflett from What Culture. Aew Revolution is this weekend, and myself and Hamflett will be doing our live stream reactions to it on Sunday night into the early, or potentially late hours of Monday morning. Make sure you join myself and Hamflett for that one, but we are here to give our predictions for the big show. Let's dive straight into it, Hamflett. Let's start off with a biggie, the Texas death match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. Who you got for this one?
Jon Moxley.
Really?
Jon Moxley, yeah. One, always believe in Jon Moxley. Number two, not believing in Hangman Page is kind of the best way to believe in Hangman Page. Hangman Page on the Dynamite that was just yesterday as we record this now, the go-home Dynamite anyway before Revolution, spoke about how he needs this. He needs to get this out of his life and get it out of his way. But what's gone under-mentioned in the build to this match is the fact that Moxley won the last one clean as a sheep.
Oh, yeah.
Moxley has kind of won this program. The best Hangman Page can do is draw and level it. I don't want that. I want Jon Moxley to win. I want Hangman Page to fall a little bit deeper into the pit because I think that character is better at pulling himself out of something rather than riding on the old dusty trail doing that cowboy.
Do you know what I want?
Go on.
Jon Moxley to have a holiday.
Yeah,
So he's going to lose.
Yeah.
He's going to lose. It's not a straightforward pinfall, is it? It's a Texas death match, and that's justification for him not to be on screen for a while, so him and hopefully Renee can have a few weeks away.
Renee, he's going ice fishing by himself.
Yeah, granted.
Look at that face.
I've got a bit of a prediction as well. I think Jon Moxley might bleed.
What?
Yeah, Hangman has to win this. You're going to do Hangman winning this and moving on to something else, and it's, you know, another one of those redemption arcs for him. And yeah, Moxley can come back and do whatever he wants. I've no idea what's going on with the Blackpool Combat Club, so we are divided on that one. But what about Wardlow versus Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship? Magic fingers, baby. The winner of this, of course, faces Powerhouse Hobbs. Sorry, the winner of this, of course, loses to Powerhouse Hobbs on next week's Dynamite.
Yeah.
But Hair Stuff has been part of the build to this. He's the king of TV. But is he going to remain the king of the TNT Championship belt after Sunday night?
No.
No.
We're going from big man bun to big man fun. This should be a nice way to wrap this programme up. And indeed wrap up maybe Samoa Joe's interest in AEW right now. Ring of Honor is obviously kicking back off. I think it's going to air this weekend, its first episodes. And Ring of, you know, he's going to have a big commitment at Supercard of Honor as the television champion within ROH.
Yeah. No spoilers, but it sounds like they've got some tasty stuff lined up for him.
Yeah, they're cooking up some pretty cool stuff. So he's going to have everything he needs on his plate there in ROH. So this pays this quite long-term story off. Hopefully, it'll be the best match of the series, and Wardlow gets that big moment before, he probably suffers the consequences of this battle in an even tougher one against Hobbs when they have theirs.
Yeah, whoever survives this has got Powerhouse Hobbs waiting on the
It's not really a
inside
prize,
of it.
is it?
No, not really.
It's the Brock Lesnar-Bobby Lashley thing when Bray Wyatt threatened the winner. You want to lose this match because look what awaits.
I think this is one of the most obvious ones, though. I think they have to go with Wardlow and agree with you on this one. New TNT champion for a few days at least.
Yeah.
Moving on. Oh, here we go, right.
Oh, right then.
So, say what you will about Chris Jericho and the Chris Jericho vortex that people get pulled into, but Chris Jericho, at the end of the day, at the end of all of his feuds, always puts over the younger, up-and-coming talent, makes them look great, and after that feud, they move on to bigger and better things. So, do something a little bit different here. Rather than asking your thoughts, let's say together, on the count of three, who we think is going to win this match. Okay,
we got it.
1, 2, 3. Chris Jericho.
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
It's friggin' Action Andretti.
Yes, the very key point is JAS is banned from ringside, not everybody's banned from ringside.
Action Andretti is the one that everybody is going to as the guy that's been beaten down so much by the JAS that the only way you can get out of this funk is to join them. Can I offer you, trade offer, Paul White?
What?
Chris Jericho recently trademarked Jericho, didn't he? For his own personal uses. Amazed that WWE didn't want to hold on to that one. They're obviously busy with Zack Ryder's.
Or Ezekiel Jackson or something.
Yeah. So think about that. Tall Paul joining the JAS as their new heater alongside Big Jake. I don't want any of this. I don't want any of this, but I don't want the Chris Jericho win either. I don't want this, I don't think.
Yeah, I really hope our prediction is wrong for this because, I mean, this should have finished when Ricky Starks beat Chris Jericho in their first match.
Yeah, come on, guys. I love Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks 8 weeks ago as much as anybody else, but here we are again. Aye.
Poor Ricky, man. This has not been good for him. He came off that very close, controversial loss to MJF for the world title. Then he went stuff with Chris Jericho, and we thought, Oh no, wait a second, he's beaten Jericho, and then got sucked in, and I think even if he does win this, he's not going to come out the same guy he was, as you say, sort of 8 weeks ago. And I think partially that's informed my opinion of like, yeah, mate, I think Action Andretti's going to be an arsehole, be the James Ellsworth in this storyline. God, that sounds bad.
I think your unusual cynicism is unfounded here, because I've never, ever seen anyone come out of a Chris Jericho feud less hot than they were when they went in.
Next. It's the three-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya, of course, representing, what they calling them, the Outsiders? Or
Outsiders and homegrowns, isn't it, on either side?
And Ruby Soho, whose side is she on?
The belt side. That's what
Yes.
she does, isn't it? She only cares about the belt.
Who leaves as champion?
Jamie Hayter.
Please, yeah.
Jamie Hayter. I'm the higher guy on Ruby Soho refusing to show her hand. She does care more about the title than about this feud. Doesn't do much for the feud that like one of the number one contenders is not even interested in it. But ultimately, she's a device, isn't she? She's there to get pinned here by Jamie Hayter. The Jamie Hayter-Saraya match is for another day, and possibly even another pay-per-view. That might be the big thing they've got in mind for Double or Nothing. I do think there is a shocking Britt Baker turn at some point in this story. I think she is using and abusing the situation to her own gains, but not now. Not right now, anyway.
My Nightmares That Could Happen video, I booked Renee Paquette costing Jamie Hayter and revealing herself as one of the Outsiders. I don't think that's going to happen.
How's that?
That's why it's a nightmare. Also, everyone, don't take that video so seriously. I also booked a bald Wardlow to win in 10 seconds after the light bounced off the top of his head and blinded Samoa Joe.
Why are we doing this video if you've apparently already done your real predictions?
Jamie Hayter has to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can run it back. Sorry, Ruby Soho. I think she's in there to get pinned because I think they're going to do a singles match with Saraya.
She makes
and
a choice
Hayter.
after this as well. Maybe not on the show, but in the aftermath she picks one side or the other.
And I think next big pay-per-view, which is Double or Nothing, yes, do the Hayter Baker storyline because it's right there.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. Yes, Jamie Hayter is the right person to leave as champion because it's far more intriguing and you can do the weird invasion storyline that doesn't really make sense because Tony Storm's not WWE. But anyway, moving on.
Hey man, Eddie Kingston's left AEW, so anybody can.
And now you know he left it after he was being kidnapped. He has been kidnapped by the House of Black.
He can't see in colour anymore. It's all black and white and a little bit of purple.
Yeah, thanks, Phil, for sorting this one out because they haven't done a graphic for this match yet. It is the House of Black versus the Elite for the Trios Championships. Not the build I had hoped for, if I'm perfectly honest here. I thought it was far more obvious following that best of 7 than it's turned out to be because they were busy corrupting. Who's the Trios Champions after Sunday?
Hey man, I've loved all the storyline developments in this. Look at it. No, it's the all cynicism aside, it's the best trios match they've got.
Yes.
Oddly enough, despite the fact there's not really much build. I'm going with the Elite.
Really?
Yeah. I don't necessarily want that, truthfully. I want the Young Bucks back in the tag division that looks barren without them. I want Kenny Omega back in the singles ranks just because I miss him and got a taste on January the 4th. But I'm not sure it's what they want. Kenny Omega seems to speak about having fun and about just doing what he wants to do. And the Elite are quite detached from bigger stories going on in AEW. But then so is the Trios division. The matches, bangers almost all the time, with apologies to Taz. They're rippers. There we go.
Yes,
move away from
there
that.
we go.
Almost all the time, the Trios matches rule, but how often do you really have a lot of story going into these random title shots? This is kind of a pay-per-view equivalent of one of them. House of Black might struggle to recover or might win a rematch or something, but I don't know. At the moment, I don't see what's next to the Elite as much as I wish it was anything but this.
Yeah, House of Black has to win, otherwise they are dead in the water and not in a way that Julia Hart can reincarnate them, whatever it was that they did. They have to win. They have to win on Sunday.
You made me think that like Dead in the Water then is like a Christmas holiday.
But yeah, I don't know what happens next with the Elite.
Good stuff, please.
Presumably, yeah, this frees up Kenny Omega to arrive at Stand and Deliver and start his run in NXT, of course. But yeah, come on. I mean, I know that I don't subscribe to the same WWE rule of, right, if you touch the title or hold the title on the show before the pay-per-view, you don't win it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
But they left them in that weird space they sometimes film videos in, so if they can find them, because I don't know what that place is.
They've gone to that place.
Yeah, it has to be the Elite. Yeah. It has to be the Elite losing, I mean. I've just realised as I say that. It has to be the Elite losing, so the House of Black as new Trios champions, and then it's not as packed as it was when we first started pitching a Trios title.
No.
But yeah, free him up, get him back doing tag stuff. Do a match against FTR again, or potentially FTR and a partner.
More on that later.
Anyway, let's move
watching.
on. 4-way.
Heyo!
They haven't done the graphic yet with
That's right, yeah.
Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Not that it matters to us, because I said neither of us are going to pick them. Tag Team Championships, Fatal 4-Way. It is, of course, Triple J, love that name, versus the Tag Champs, the Guns, versus the Acclaim, versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Who's Michael Hamflett going to pick to leave as a champion here?
Only AEW's 2023 MVP.
Yeah.
Apologise to Jeff. Apologise to this man right here. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal for me, all the way. It's unbelievable, Jeff. Jeff. That Jeff Jarrett has been as amazing as he is. Like
It's been great, I love
this
it.
run in a division. There's been 2 Battle Royals to set this match up beyond the Acclaim getting the rematch. Neither of them were that great. Like, not enough of the tag teams felt special or felt like they were really in contention, with the exception of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And that false finish they did in that last Acclaimed match, where you got for a second the visual of Jeff Jarrett even holding a title, this idea that he is yet again Jeff Jarrett in an organisation, was just like, it filled my body with warmth when there's a winter fuel crisis and a cost of living crisis. Jeff Jarrett winning the titles heats homes. Come on, AEW. This is your responsibility to like society as a whole, rather than just to your tag division.
I'm really glad that we have sensible people here at What Culture that say, well, you should record that video. You should record that video after Dynamite, because I was all ready to walk in here and say, well, obviously it's going to be FTR as the new tag team champions.
Sting and Darby Allin.
Yeah, or Sting and Darby Allin. They're going to win it, and it was Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. And I was like, oh, okay. So as a result of that, put back on the Acclaimed, because putting them on the Guns was a dumb idea. I really like the Guns, and I understand why they did it, and Heat and all that, but it hasn't worked for me, subjectively. These guys do. These guys are still over. Just get them back to doing what they do best, which is wrestle and scissor and hold the tag team titles. Please.
Scissor me whoops.
One day I'm a scissor, then it's going to be the best. Next. Aew! Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Christian Cage at time of recording. Yeah, I should say 8 matches on this card. That's enough, Tony. Well, I'd actually like Swerve and Keith Lee to be on this show. Beyond that, that's enough, Tony.
You can take some of these off if you want to put that on.
No holds barred, according to the Wikipedia page, for this one. Jack or Christian?
Jack Perry.
Yeah.
They've at very least brought Christian back and wanted to complete the story. Jack Perry got the win over Luchasaurus. He made it very clear that he wanted to have a proper singles run, and then Christian has tried to use that against him. He's got to vanquish Christian before he can crack on properly with that. So do the simple bit now. You've got to the point where you actually got to the match, so just deliver what people want to see. I think not the most exciting and dynamic as a result, but I think you have to do it from a narrative point of view.
Yeah,
Christian
I'm
wins
glad
again.
they closed that loop.
Yeah, that's it. It's loop closing. Christian wins again. What are we doing here? I don't really want the rematch. Jungle Boy's failed twice.
Yeah, Jungle Boy has to win. Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeats Christian Cage. Like you say, just annoyingly delayed by the unfortunate injury to Christian, who can easily get his heat back by slagging off a town or a dead relative or whoever he wants to face next. And fancy booking, because I didn't do it for my Bull Buchanan joins the Gun Club and becomes BB Gunn, as I did for my Nightmares one. Christian Cage looks like he's lost, looks like Jungle Boy Jack Perry's going to win the match when outruns Luchasaurus. Oh, bloody hell, he's back to interfere. But what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Glacier interferes. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. 1, 2, 3,
You
baby.
absolutely love that one, don't you?
Love it. It's going to happen.
You say about Christian
It's the
getting...
same as someone hitting their opponent's finisher and doing the wank or something.
You say about Christian getting his heat back, and I think he absolutely could do in a singles run, obviously. But what was one of the last things he said on the Go Home Dynamite? What word did he use? He did use the word grit. And just maybe
Telling me there's a chance.
keep him peeled over the summer for maybe...
He's going to WWE. He's going back. Him and Kenny Omega hopping over.
Yeah, I like that more now. I was going to say Edge to AEW. I forgot.
And finally, well, I did remember the card pretty well. It is my best friend, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, in an Iron Man match against Daniel Bryan, or whatever people are calling him nowadays. Bryan Danielson. I think you can probably tell who I'm rooting for on this one. The good guy. The good guy has to win this. The guy who has a red-headed shaped hole in his life right now. Right, Max. He has to win the Iron Man match. He is going to put on an absolute ripper performance. This is going to be absolutely sensational. I think that's the one thing we agree on.
Yeah.
But you said you had something of a surprise for your prediction here. What have you got in the 60-minute Iron Man match?
I just want to say before that in Alan Partridge's live show Stratagem, he presents this show as if it's this big event for people to come and watch and learn about his theory of how to break free from the Brexit and COVID and all these chains that have come afterwards. And it turns out that he was just using the entire show as one long love letter to a woman he briefly dated. I feel like that's happened to me here. The laughter of love. Right, I feel like that's happened to me. I've been brought in under false pretenses to do a Revolution predictions video just so we can get to this point. Is this going to happen for 60 minutes in the stream?
Yeah, join us on Sunday for that one.
Because Phil, I think I might need you to take my place. I'm not sitting with an hour of this. This is not like an extended Tinder bit.
You signed on the dotted line, brother.
Just because you revealed that you're sorry, Max, you revealed on screen you were available. He's been a nightmare to work with ever since. Yes, something different for this main event. I'm going with a draw. Right?
Ooh!
But
Please don't tell me it goes into overtime. We've got to stream this.
No,
Oh,
that's the
Christ.
point. Tie goes to the girlfriend. Draw, 3-3 or 4-4 even, and MJF, they're both laid out, they're both absolutely knackered, the bell rings, and of course Bryan Danielson is ready for overtime, the fans are ready for overtime, the referees, we're not, we're absolutely knackered, one of us has at least fallen asleep on the other one's shoulder, but yeah, at the point at which the officials are coming out, they're going to make the choice, MJF just gives it the throat slash, the no thanks, and just like disappears off into the crowd, the very opposite of what Bret Hart was willing to do against Shawn Michaels and the like, as the heel indeed, so he's off in the crowd, Bryan Danielson is in the ring, like kind of head in his hands, over to the stage, CM Punk comes out on the stage, surveys the scene, and the pay-per-view does not end with a draw and something that feels unsatisfying, even though it would be perfectly in character for MJF to be like, well, it's a draw. Champion retains in a draw. It instead ends with more questions than answers. There you go.
I was going to say, it was a bit of a wet fart of an ending with Max just running off, as much as I'd be supportive of him retaining by hook or by crook, but my word, that's a hell of an ending to Aew Revolution.
And of course, you put Punk on the thumbnail, more people buy the pay-per-view replay than have probably watched the last 300 episodes of Rampage. So
300 episodes of Rampage.
Good business, IMO. Just trying to help.
Yeah. Wow. Well, let us know your thoughts, your predictions in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, we've been discussing it in all the build-up to it, and we'll discuss all the fallout from it, of course, as well. Let us know your thoughts and your predictions as well on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE, where you can find both of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE, as I said. And make sure you join myself and Michael Hamflett on Sunday night into Monday afternoon, probably, now in TK.
We can do it.
On our YouTube channel. Set a little reminder for yourself. We're going to have a load of fun and, yeah, I'm going to be unbearable while this match is going on, but I promise he'll keep me on a relatively tight leash. Anyway, this has been our predictions for AEW Revolution. My thanks to Michael Hamflett. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Phil for doing the real magic, and we will see you soon.